Folks, you are tuned in to the first installment of the Don Riz podcast. I am your host, Sean the Don Donnelly, and I'm joined by my good friend, Joe Mastronardo Jr. How we doing, Joe?
We're doing good. How are you?
It's good to see you, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's been a while, man.
Yeah, it has been a little bit.
Yeah.
The hair's impressive.
Thanks, man. I've been growing it out. I ain't got nobody to tell me what to do no more, so I'm like, grow out hair, do whatever.
Is it manageable?
It's a little bit of maintenance.
It's a pain in the ass, right?
Yeah, sort of.
Anytime I had my hair long, like it got to a point where it was almost unbearable, and then my hair would get greasy, and I'd have to like wash it.
That's what. Yeah, that like gets in your eyes.
And I'm a very aggressive bather too. Like I keep good hygiene.
I got you.
So
yeah.
you know.
Yeah, it's efficient to keep your hair down and beard and all that. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's definitely. I don't think it's worth it.
No, I can go back to something shorter. People tend to do that. They have their hair long, then they shorten it back up.
Yeah.
Hey, meow. Corny. I have cats, and Corny's strangling me. Corny!
Oh, that's funny.
Corny! Stop. Oh, man. I just break that one up.
She watches a lot of wrestling.
Yeah, I know, apparently, right?
got you in a move.
That'll happen with me over here.
Yeah. So what I've been trying to do with the hair is like I'm growing it out. I'm kind of like, you know what I mean? I'm digging the look. And then at some point it'll get to a length where I can like donate it.
Well, that's good. That's a good idea.
Yeah, seems like the best thing to do.
So like cancer patients and things
yeah,
like that?
yeah. They got like companies like Locks of Love or whatever.
That's really nice.
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
I used to when I was younger. I haven't done it in a while, but I used to donate blood for like Red Cross. Mm-hmm. You can do it.
Well, God knows what's in that blood now.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah.
I got you. But yeah. You know what's funny? I linked up, with our boy Mark about 2 years ago. We were down the beach together, and
I heard about that. That was the day you drank all the beer, and someone drove the car into the neighbor's car, correct?
Yeah.
That was I think I was a part of that on Snapchat or video chat. Yeah, I remember it well.
Yeah. The girl I was with, she was pretty hammered.
Drove the car into the neighbor's car. How about that?
Yeah, we backed in, crunched it. I looked. I forget what I did. I think I told him about it, and then when we left, he was like, "Yeah, it's all good." And then we're, 5-10 blocks down, and he's like, "Hey, man, give me all the insurance information right now, or I'm calling the cops." And I'm like, "Yeah, dude, it ain't that, like, I'll give it to you. I don't like the way you're coming to me, though."
Oh, that's true for you.
Yeah, when I was, so that day, he was talking about my hair, because it was, like, similar length, maybe a little longer.
I remember.
And he said, it's time for a cut. And he goes in to get scissors, and I'm laughing, because I'm like, I didn't even look at him, because I'm like, there's no way this grown-ass man is going to come cut my hair. And then I'm sitting there, and I hear the screen door open, and I hear snip.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I tried to stop him, and I cut my hand, and I'm like, all right, dude. So
I remember that you got a haircut that day, and a lot of beer was drank.
Yeah.
And someone drove a car into someone else's car. That's a pretty good day right there.
Yeah, it was
exciting.
It was a shit show. Mm-hmm. It was funny. We were planning to go to the beach like a week prior, and Cruz hits me up the night before. You know what I mean? He's had a few in him, and he's like, "Hey, what's going on?"
As always.
Yeah, and I just pitched it to him.
Now, was it the beginning of his run? Because he goes on runs.
Yeah.
So was it the beginning?
I think,
or were we a few days in?
I think it was night one when he contacted me,
okay,
and it was day 2 when I showed up.
I see. So he had been going for quite some time at that point.
Yeah. He was on the second wind. He was feeling good.
We all know how it goes. How it builds.
Yeah, he hits the Don up. He's feeling nice. Hey, man, how you doing?
That's great. That's great. Yeah, there's like phases of it. It's like first phase, second, and then it advances, and then we have the culmination.
Yeah.
That's when things get really good.
It gets depressing. He's not getting hammered anymore. He's just like drinking. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. I know. Well, that's wonderful. Oh man.
So it's funny, we're on the way down there, and I'm like, okay, cool, I'm on my way down. And he's a little bit like, wait, I have a family. You know what I mean? So,
oh, God.
He's still like, hey, you know what, let me try to solve both things. So he's like, wait, I can hear his girl screaming at him in the back.
As usual.
And he's like, hang on, man. He called me back. He's like, yeah, you're good.
Yeah. You can't get through a phone call without hearing the barking in the background.
Yeah.
Does anybody out there in radio land or podcast land, does anybody have a friend where every time you're on the phone with them, every single time you're on the phone with them, you hear barking in the background because the significant other has to interrupt and has to distract and has to always take the attention off of whatever it is and put it back on them, because that's what we're talking about right now. Every single conversation, every one of them.
Yep. It's always got to be this. We're attached to the hip 24/7. No privacy. No
Mark.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but it's funny because I look back on it and I'm like, yeah, he should have just called an audible and said, "Yeah, I'll catch you next time." But he wanted to be, you know what I mean? He's like, I'll see you in a minute. Come on.
Well,
And,
that's good. I mean, that's good. That was a memorable day. There's
Yeah.
no question about that. Cruz is actually in a text message thread
Is he?
with us.
Okay.
And last night...
oh, did you hit the group chat? I got you.
Yeah, we're in a group chat, right? And
Okay.
last night
There
he sent, guys, as hilarious as this has been, can we consider a medium that doesn't blow one's phone up constantly? Flame suit on, like, it's like...
Yeah,
so
yeah.
now he's going to be put on trial, and we're going to decide his fate, whether he stays in the group chat or he's excommunicated. Because I mean, that's about enough now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So we've established a judge and a prosecutor, and Cruz has to defend himself, and I'm sort of the consultant to the prosecutor.
I got
and
you.
then we're gonna have them the verdict, and
deliberate
we're gonna
with
decide whether Cruz stays or goes, because that conduct is unacceptable. Right there.
You know what? That's
You
cool.
should be happy that he's included and he's bitching.
Yeah.
Because maybe someone's bitching at him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah,
Be happy that your friends are all in a group and you're all communicating, because we all say, oh, I haven't talked to this person in so long, or that person, so we have something. We're all having a good time or whatever. Yeah. Does it get a little excessive? Yes. But what's the flip side of that is you don't hear from your friends for God knows how long. So fucking be positive about what are the language?
Oh yeah, we're good.
I try not to swear, but
everything.
it's just saying, like, just be happy. Like, people just want to be negative about everything. Put your phone on silent. Check it when you want, or mute that, and like just
you can set the notification and say, hey, this thread, I'm not gonna hear from it. You know what I mean?
It's just people just are just real candy asses. What can I say?
Yeah, I agree. You definitely want to look at the you know what I mean? Like there's
Right now, this is like the
negative
pandemic thing, right?
Yeah.
People, this is an opportunity, is what it is, because I understand people who are out of work and they're worried about their bills and everything like that. I completely understand.
Yeah.
But from another extent, like there are times where you get stale as a person. You get you're seeing the same people every day. You're just monotonous. People are getting tired of you. It's just the same shit. You have a period of time right now where you can disappear and reinvent yourself and pull back a little bit or fall back a little bit. And then when people see you another 30, 60 days, whatever it is, you can be in better shape. You could be smarter. You could have learned something. You're freshened up. You're like people get stale kind of. Unless you're constantly reinventing themselves. And people aren't taking advantage of this opportunity.
Yeah.
It's an opportunity to make yourself better, to get in better shape.
Yeah.
Like we're fortunate we have all the technology we do. We have the video chat. We have that. People don't understand. Like I've been in jail, for God's sake.
Yeah.
And that taught me a lot of valuable life lessons. And this, this is no big deal to me.
Yeah.
Again, I feel for people with the jobs, and I feel for the people that are legitimately afraid for their safety and their health. But I mean, for people who are like us, or healthy and they're young, we don't really have a whole lot to worry about.
Yeah,
so just make the best of it, man. Because you know what? Because sooner, how Christmas is. Like everybody says, "Oh, it's Christmas this year. I can't believe where all the time go." All right, well, sooner or later, everybody's going to be back to work, and it's going to be like, "Oh, remember that time? I wish I should have used that better."
Yeah,
people just have a negative mentality from the time that they get up to the time they go to bed. Like what I've done is I go down to this park over here next to my house. I'm fortunate enough to have this park.
Yeah.
And like I start up my day. I get up before everybody else. I get up at 5 or 6 o'clock. I go down there and I formulate all my thoughts and my plans for the day. I put myself in the right frame of mind, and my days are better. I'm more productive. I'm coming from a pot. My workouts are better. You know what I mean? Like I plan.
Yeah.
I mean, it also goes with the fact that I get up so early. Is that Jess already? Oh boy, it is. How about that? I'm excited to see her. I haven't seen her in a while.
I got you.
But
I know what you mean, because it's like, where are we going?
No, we're just saying it's an opportunity.
Yeah, it really is. And the same people that say, hey, where'd the time go? Those are the people that don't say, hey, look, you can't affect. Everyone regrets what they did in the past, and I wasted all this time. You can do now, and then the future you is gonna say, hey, thanks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's cool. You're on that track where you're like, all right, your days, like you're tired at the end of the day. Like, man, I did everything. Yeah, I love those days.
I try. Well, I have to wear myself out because I can't sleep.
Yeah, like when I'm being a piece of shit. Yeah.
So anyway, like I was saying, like I just view this as an opportunity to make yourself better. Yeah. I mean.
Yeah, if you're not one of those like essential like workers in a grocery store or like a nurse or whatever, it's a great time to just hunker down, read, study, do whatever. You got the internet, you know what I mean? There's not like, you're absolutely right. Like
that's just the way I feel, and it's not something that I don't practice. I wouldn't like harp on something that I don't actually do myself because I feel like I was a hypocrite.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I'm good sometimes.
Make the best of it, because sooner or later you're going to be back to work. You're not going to have that much time, and you're going to look. I think people are going to look back and like, wow, I wish I would have used my time a little bit better. Look at me. I've lived next to this park for 3 years, and I've only been there a handful of times. So I incorporated that, and I feel like it's very beneficial to everyday, like to my everyday life.
Yeah.
So
that's just. Yeah, you hit a certain point in life where you're like, hey, I gotta start being like a cool, normal human person, and like just kind of just getting everything you can out of that.
Well, I've always struggled with being a normal human being.
Likewise, yeah, I feel that.
But I try to be the best version of myself.
Yeah, I feel like if you always look back on your past and you think like you screwed up, I think you're always doing right, because it means where you're at now.
I look at everything that I've ever gone through or done, and I look at it from the perspective of this is my fault. You know, and maybe people don't realize that, but I look at everything like, okay, that's my fault. What could I have done? What should I have done?
Yeah.
You know, and I take it from that perspective, because it humbles you to be able to be like, that was my fault. Okay, what should I have done?
Yeah.
So, you know, like I beat myself up, and I'm that type of person, but
I gotcha. Yeah, you know what it is? It's just, you can only affect you. You know what I mean? This whole world out here, no matter what you want to go happen, or you know what I mean, how you deal in your relationships. At the end of the day, you're only you. So you can only look at like, how could I have done better?
Yeah, exactly. How could I be better? How could I have done better? How can I be better? How could I have improved this or that or whatever?
Yeah.
And it's really true when they say worry about where you can control, because we all worry about different things, but I mean, you really need to focus on the things you can control and hope the things you can't control go your way.
Yeah.
And maybe the things you can't control, maybe you can influence them by what you can control. I mean, that's the way I look at life, and I legitimately try to live like that. And I'm not perfect, and I make mistakes, and you know, I just try to keep everything as best as possible.
Yeah.
'Cause I know, you know.
Yeah, I notice in life
awareness. I try to be aware.
Yeah. I notice in life constancy is one of the big tools of like getting shit done. If you're the same dude every day, and you're like, hey, I want this, and I'm working towards this, and you're positive about it, eventually things, you know what I mean? People start kind of playing ball with you.
Yeah.
Eventually things go your way because they see, oh, this guy really, he means it every day.
You would hope.
Yeah.
That's the idea, you know?
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, right now in society, man, things are funny. You know what I mean? You're on the internet all day. You know what I mean? You're on the internet. I'm on the internet all day. And I just see people, and I'm like, you know, hey, look, they haven't seen what I've seen, so they don't know what I know. They don't have the same perspective.
Yeah.
But yeah, people bum me the fuck out.
My life's been a little bit different than than most people.
Yeah.
But by the same token, yeah, I don't know, dude. You worry about yourself, and some people will just maybe they lack a little bit of perspective, and
yeah.
I mean, you don't know what they're going through at the same time, but
yeah.
Just try and make the best of whatever situation you're in. Try to do the best you can.
Yeah.
At least try.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's a weird balance. It's like you can put out your best ideas, but like you don't want to be overly critical. Mm-hmm. That doesn't go anywhere anyway. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you on that shit.
Exactly. So we're Monday, April 6th right now.
Monday, April 6th, 2020. Yep.
At least it's a nice day.
Yeah.
Rather than that rain we were having.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So tell me more about your podcast that we're doing right now. What do you usually talk about?
Okay,
Just off the top of your head, or?
Yeah, it's a lot off the top of my head. I'm a gamer, so a lot of it's gaming, but I like to get into everything.
You're gonna have to give, when we're done, you're gonna have to give me some recommendations.
Okay, yeah, I'll hook up. You know? I mean, what you used to play? You used to play like wrestling games back when I was 64.
Yeah,
that kind of
stuff?
60,
No Mercy for 64 is the greatest wrestling game of all time.
Yeah,
there's no question about that. I have my 64 hooked up over there. No Mercy and like WCW, NWO Revenge, they're fantastic. And then there was always like Bond, and 64 to me is the best system ever.
Yeah, 64 was tight. When they came out and I saw like Super Mario 64, you can go run around 3D. I was like 10 at the time or so, and it blew my mind. I'm like, oh, dude, this is everything, you know? But yeah, nowadays they got these games called multiplayer online battle arenas. Those are big right now. And they have like League of Legends is the big one. And they got something called esports now, where they've made their own, like, you know, you got the NFL, NBA, all that stuff. They have video game leagues now. So for every different game, every whatever it is, there's people that gather around in crowds and just go, you know what I mean? It's like, so it's drawn the same kind of attention as sports have.
Well, that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's
Whatever
interesting.
keeps people busy, man, you know?
Yeah.
Gives them some sort of interaction. It can be competitive, too. I mean, that's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'd like to get back into gaming. I probably will when the next Grand Theft Auto comes out.
Okay. Yeah.
Whenever that is. It's supposed to be the end of the year from what I've heard, but
Oh, is it?
that's what I've heard.
I know people are loving 5, and they
Oh,
have
5 is the best. Grand Theft Auto 5 is the best game I've ever played. Now, granted, I'm not an extensive gamer, but
Yeah.
that was the best game I ever played. I want to start playing it again, and the cool thing is they have the tutorial at the beginning, so it teaches you how to play the game again.
Yeah.
This is Derek, by the way.
Sorry, what's up, I'm Sean.
I don't.
Yeah. Some people have been using my gym.
Yeah. Tell me about the phony Chinese virus gym.
Yeah, no, I put it. I was on house arrest one time, so I made sure I put a gym in my house.
Yeah.
And for sports gambling, guys, no serious crimes. Something I just got caught up in, but
Yeah.
so I put a gym in my house. You can do everything, and
Yeah.
it's just in case you need it. In
You
case
guys doing it right now?
in case you need a gym, you can just do everything here. And I got an elliptical, and
Yeah.
you know you make the best of it. And so like a handful of people have been using my gym,
That's cool.
and I keep everything clean. I have a clean person that comes once a week, and they they deep clean everything. So
I got you.
and like I said, it's the same 5 people.
Hasn't been an outbreak yet.
Yeah, there has not been an outbreak. No.
No.
Derek's actually very funny when he wants to be.
Yeah.
So I mean, he'd be a good man to include in this.
I got you. Yeah, I mean.
He came in here. He had the camouflage mask on his face the other day.
Okay.
Yeah, he had the mask on.
Yeah,
Like nobody could see me.
Yeah, don't be fuck chiming and go.
He brought me Faber hand sanitizer that smells like tequila.
Yeah.
It kills
Yeah.
absolutely everything.
Nice.
So
That's fun.
Including brain cells.
yeah.
That's cool that you're kind of giving a public service like
Yeah,
to
I
your
feel
people.
like this is the way I service my community.
Yeah, I feel like I should open up a speakeasy and help out my people.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, this is the way I service my community by lending my gym.
That's deep.
That's the way I see it.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's my community service, help people out.
Yeah.
And I mean, I go to, I live probably 5 days a week, so.
Yeah, and I believe
I'll
that.
tell you what, the nature walks, I love the nature walks and everything like that.
Yeah, that's
And
kinda-
I'm
right.
happy I incorporated that in my routine.
Yeah, I totally obviously I don't work out, but I totally believe in the home gym as opposed to like the going out, That's just like you end up socializing half the time and drinking shakes, Mm-hmm. It's so cool to, you need me to?
No, continue, go
It's
ahead.
like they're built a nest.
It's in the laundry room. You might gonna have to do some editing here.
Yeah, nah.
It's in the laundry room, Derek. Go grab it.
But yeah, I don't get why people will drop even 10, but like get 20, 30, 50 bucks a month when it's like you can go jog.
Well, no, yeah,
You
no,
know?
I mean, a gym membership's a necessity. I'm just fortunate enough I have the stuff in my home because it's very expensive and you pay X amount of cents per pound. But
Yeah.
so I completely understand a gym membership. But
Yeah.
like I said, I had it set up in case I ever needed a gym, and it's just important to me because it's such a big part of my life. And in this situation,
let 'em go today.
in this situation, like I can help people out, and
Yeah.
why not?
Yeah, that's
I'm not really scared of the virus, so.
yeah,
For people like us, I don't think you should be.
yeah. Younger people are succumbing to it, but
I don't believe
In
it.
such-
I don't.
I feel like it's in such low. It's anecdotal. It's in such
Yeah.
low numbers that it's like.
Exactly. I'm
Yeah.
not buying that. I'm not sure how true it is. I don't know. But
Yeah.
and what are they leaving out? Like what conditions? What happened?
Yeah, what's the
Now,
underlying?
granted, I don't want anybody to get sick. I just want to know more to it because you read like this person, that person succumbed to the coronavirus, and then you look and it's like the guy was in a coma for 3 months and had all these problems leading into it. And I mean, it's a shame and it's a terrible thing that happened, but. I mean, the guy had very, very severe pre-existing conditions. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I've a few of my friends are nurses and everything, so
Yeah.
I'm going off of what I think and what I've been told.
Yeah.
And that's how I formulate my opinions.
Yeah, a lot of from what I've heard is let's just say someone just has they die of like respiratory complications. They will tack that death onto the COVID-19
Yeah.
numbers, and it's just and otherwise, you know what I mean? Who knows what else? So it's like, yeah, I don't know. I think a general society just needs kind of a set of protocols to keep kind of this shit away from each other. You know what I mean? To stop spreads, but we need that in place all the time. And then something like this comes out, and everyone can. I don't know. I feel like people just got to work together on shit because outbreaks happen. You know what I mean? This happens every once in a while throughout history.
Yeah.
And if we all just kind of have an emergency plan, a little protocol together, you know what I mean? It's not going to spread the way they're saying this is spreading. You know?
Yeah, it's a shame, but hopefully, what I think on the other side of this, I think I think we're going to have to produce everything in America, and I think it's going to create more jobs, and it's going to help our economy. And I think people should realize that maybe you have to spend a couple more dollars on American goods, but at least you're reinvesting in your own economy, and you're basically going to get that money back because the economy is going to improve. We have someone like Trump who's going to cut taxes for people. I mean, I think we really could, when everything straightens out, I think we could come out of this in a better situation. You know, more jobs for people, a better economy, a stronger economy. I think that's where we're headed. That's my opinion, because I mean, one would think that we're not going to depend on China for a whole lot after this. But again, I'm not an expert. I listen to Rush Limbaugh. I mean, I could be wrong, but that's just what I think.
Yeah, that would be a direction to go. That's like the Henry Ford model. You know, when we start making cars, he's like, hey, let me pay my people better. Yeah. That goes right back to me.
Exactly.
They start buying my cars, goes to the economy.
Exactly right.
Take care of the people in your community around you. Well, you know, like, people want cheap goods, so they'll just shoot down to Walmart and get whatever these mom and pop stores.
I'm a Walmart guy.
Yeah, Walmart's cool, but I mean, it shuts down like the mom and pop. You know what I mean? Like the small business people that are doing it. That's a big thing in the middle of the country, where you just have a little town center and they drop a Walmart. People say it tends to like decimate the economy. You know, and I think that's fine. I mean, Walmart's just the size of a company that can do that, but yeah, the downside of that is they're getting a lot of their stuff from China. And yeah, if they just manufacture everything here and said, all right, guys, just take care of the people, everyone in your area. You know what I mean? Like, we're out here near Philly. You know what I mean? If you're just like, hey, I don't mind spending a couple extra bucks for a cup of coffee or whatever. You know what I mean? Don't go to Starbucks. Go to Joe's Joe. You know what I mean? Like,
speaking of coffee, would you like one? Okay.
Yeah, but not that shit that you drink.
The Brazilian stuff?
Yeah.
I have this Brazilian coffee that my clean lady gave me.
yeah.
I don't want to be jittery all day.
Oh, it's juice. It's good.
It's not that bad.
It's not that good either.
I'll run. You know what? Then I'll run the.
No, it's fine. I can go to Starbucks. Do you want anything?
What's that?
Do you want anything? I can go.
I'm okay. No, I'll go for you. I'll go for you. Relax and sit in the sun.
I'm fine. I can go. I can go.
All right.
What do you want?
Yeah. Okay.
Do you want anything?
Would you like a coffee?
Oh, yeah, like a black coffee if you want to.
Black.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. Stop, please.
Yeah.
Here.
Thank you, Joe.
Don't worry about it. Let's get whatever you want to talk
Yeah.
about.
Oh yeah. I mean, I know you might want to talk some politics, but
No, just go ahead. Whatever.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, okay. Fuck. We're in an impasse.
What's that?
No, I'm like we're at an impasse. And we're both like, hey, what do you want to?
Yeah. Go. No. Just go ahead.
What the hell are we?
Like I said, you're gonna have to do some editing, but
Yeah. Yeah. It's fine. Fine.
I mean, I love Trump. I think he's the best thing I've ever seen.
Yeah. Yeah. I gotta tell you, like I'm progressive as it gets, but I see why people like Trump. I understand, you know.
I mean, who would you rather have right now?
Yeah.
I mean, I think the guy's doing the absolute best job possible. I mean,
Yeah.
I think he's the best president of my lifetime.
Yeah. I mean,
I think he's a very strong leader. I think he. I mean, clearly, America First is fantastic.
Yeah.
The way he shreds the reporters. I mean, about two
Yeah.
reporters getting killed a day,
That's
like
true.
Trump, and they just sit there. They're continuously trying to play gotcha with the guy, and then they're getting lit up and embarrassed. Like they're not. The press doesn't look good in these situations.
yeah. They're not giving any counterplay. They're not. You know what I mean? They're just. They're saying their shit and then they're eating it and then they're just sitting back.
Yeah, they're trying to cause dissension. They want to be negative. They hope people. I mean, they hope people die. They want this to be so bad. They want people to be out of work. Like those press people are just real sickos. They're obsessed with themselves. I mean, they're narcissistic, and I mean, like when Trump was like, "Yeah, I'm trying to be. I want to be positive. The American people need hope. Would you prefer I'm negative? You know, it's just."
Yeah, you can tell. I could tell as soon as he got elected. I saw the media start to begin to draw a narrative. You know?
Yeah, well, that happened even before he got elected.
Yeah, I feel like 10-20% of the time they're reporting, because when I see reporting on the government and politics, right, I want to see like, hey, what executive orders got passed? Like what's on the floor of the House right now? Those are the nuts and bolts of what's actually in government, not like this posturing shit. Like, oh, he came, you know, like remember the Obama with the tan suit, or like, oh, Trump, you know, with he looked at the eclipse the one time they report. It's like, dude. Cool, fine. Like that's a little funny, but that's not interesting as far as the government goes.
No.
Yeah, it's very clownish.
It's all inconsequential. Like all the things that they try to focus on the guy because they just want to. He's got something like 90% negative press from MSNBC and the rest. All the liberal media.
Yeah, like the center of the left.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. 90%. It's just outrageous. But when you look at it, I mean, before the coronavirus hit, the economy was booming. I mean, people were making more money. It's just everything was in a better place. The guy did a great job.
Yeah.
And just because they disagree ideologically with the guy, they want to give him 90% negative coverage. I don't know.
Yeah, they'll hit him from every angle they can. You know what I mean? Like if he was walking on water, they would say he couldn't swim. You know what I mean? It's just like.
No, you're right.
Yeah. I feel like all this shit started. I don't know if it was Bush's second term or like when Bill Clinton got a blowjob, but like at some point, politics turned into this. Like it started getting reported like sports. You know,
it's a good way to look at it.
They did that swift boating thing with Kerry back in 2004. And it just, the second I got interested in politics, it became a shit show. It became, he said, she said, oh, look how he kind of reacted.
I grew up in a very political family, and I know I experienced a lot, and I've seen a lot, and I know a lot of the real stories that a normal person wouldn't know because I was on the inside.
Yeah.
But I never really was into politics until the Trump campaign in 2015 is when I started paying attention. And I originally wasn't a huge Trump guy. Like I knew he was an entertainer in The Apprentice, and he was like WWE. He was on WWE. He was friends with Vince McMahon. And I didn't really have an opinion. I didn't dislike him, but I was like, whatever, you know. And then I started watching his political speeches and his political rallies, and he just won me over.
Yeah.
And I just loved the guy, and then I liked his attitude and his approach, and I mean, it's what I thought we as a country needed, like someone like him, who's outside of the political establishment coming in, and they mean both sides hated the guy. And why? Because to me, politics is like a country club, and they don't want to do anything. They just want to make themselves money and make themselves rich.
Yeah.
And then and like I said, again, it was both sides. They don't care. And then Trump came in, and everybody, when everybody hates the guy on both sides, you know he's the right guy.
You know something's happening.
Yeah, and that's the guy because it's like a good old boy network. And Trump is proving that someone can actually get things done. And this guy wants to work with Democrats. He absolutely does. That's the thing about the Democrats that they're so obsessed with getting the guy or whatever. You actually have someone in there who's willing to do business. He's absolutely willing to do business. Like the prison reform, everything like that. I mean, that's just an example. Okay. I mean, right now he's working with Democrat governors in blue states, and he's doing a good job with it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's the best thing we've seen as a country in God knows how long.
Yeah.
I mean, any terrorism in the United States since Trump was in office? No, because they're scared of him.
Yeah,
they're not going to mess with this guy.
Yeah,
you know, he made several statements. They dropped that Moab to blow up all those tunnels.
Yeah.
I just think he's just had an absolutely wonderful presidency, and I think it's a shame that we're as a country are running into the coronavirus, but we've got the stimulus, and hopefully unemployment and people are taken care of, and the average American needs Trump right now. And so hopefully that they get their unemployment checks and the stimulus and everything like that. And I mean, if those people are helped, I mean, Trump's going to win in a landslide.
Yeah.
And I personally think he's going to win big anyway, but he's putting a lot of steps in place to help a lot of people. And hopefully the numbers in the coronavirus aren't as bad as I don't even say projected, because the projected number's bullshit. Because that's if we did nothing, if there was no response.
Yeah.
So, I think we're going to get another 4 years of him, and I think it's a good thing for everyone. That's just my opinion.
I'll tell you, and a lot of people are saying this.
No, that's a pretty educated. Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah. A lot of people are saying 4 more years of Trump, and it makes sense because he's. You know, you can argue with him about how he portrays himself to the media. You know what I mean? I think it's a lot of
complete pieces of shit.
A lot of
the media. Those people in the media have never done anything in their entire lives.
Yeah.
You know, they're complete pieces of shit. They don't know how to do anything. They just try and play gotcha with the president.
Yeah.
I mean, what have they ever done in their lives? They're nobodies. They hide behind a pen, and a paper, and elitists. Like, who are they? You write for a living. Wow, impressive. Have you actually done anything yourself? What would you do? They don't know shit.
Yeah, so. I guess that's true. I respect journalism. I don't think our country's seen real journalism in a long time.
Of them.
I think when it's done right, it's cool. But how it is now, where it's like,
Yeah, if there was some degree of objectivity, which there isn't.
Yeah. You need like these independent media outlets that are just.
Dude, I'm a pro wrestling fan.
Yeah.
And as you know, and there are guys that I thought sucked, that weren't any good, and like I'm an educated wrestling fan. I've watched since I was 3. I know what I'm talking about. I have an idea. I legitimately know what's good and what's not. And there's guys that I was like, that guy blows, blah blah blah. And then like years later, or now that they're still in the business, and I can go, you know what, I was wrong. I had to call this down. No, that guy's good. Yeah. Like I was wrong in the stuff I said before. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But so I'm just trying to be objective. I mean, I care about, as dumb as it is, I care about my wrestling fandom and my knowledge. Yeah. So I'm not just like, so I don't want to like, and I'm looking at the guy and it's like, you know what, I was wrong. Damn.
Yeah.
Pause that. Yeah. So I mean, so anyway, I have no problem saying I was wrong or I try and be objective. And even if I don't like someone, if they're good, they're good. I don't care. You know.
Yeah.
I don't. So that's just my opinion about things. I just think journalism is insanely biased, and I don't respect any of them.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
And I feel like that's the problem with the left is because that's where they stop is journalism. They stop at the headline and say, "Oh yeah, you must be doing a bad job." It's like, nah, dig into it a little bit. You know what I mean? Just if you're you know, us liberals, progressives, like we pretend like we're on the right side of things, and that's the thing we push. Mm-hmm. If you're gonna be that guy, you actually gotta be right about some of this shit. You can't just mudsling when the guy's in office and that, you know what I mean? Then gloat when your guy gets in or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Yeah. I registered as a Republican in 2004. I liked Obama the first 2 times. Although I liked Romney. He seemed okay, you know?
Can't stand him. I think he's a
like
morally bankrupt piece of shit.
Yeah.
I think he's a jealous, bitter man. And I don't respect him, and I don't like him.
He has been taking a shot at Trump.
Hey, it's not even that. I mean, just the way he's voting, and he's saying, "Oh, it was a religious thing." Like, get the hell out of here! You're full of shit. You're just jealous. I mean, that's what you are. You're jealous.
And that's scary. Like when people start bringing in religious texts into legislation, it's like,
yeah.
Well, our country's got a little bit of that. That's just who we are, you know. But yeah, I just think the last few election cycles prior to Trump, the Democrats and Republicans, they fucked up because they just took the American voter for granted. Mm-hmm. They're like, hey, we can just keep
that's politics for.
Yeah, they're like, we can give you this little milquetoast policy and kind of pat ourselves on the back and say
none of them did anything. Yeah. No president did anything until Trump.
No,
that's just what I think. I mean, in the past, like, what exactly? I don't know. I didn't follow very closely because I can't say, but I just think that the Trump's administration is proving that someone in there can actually get things done, and I think the politicians didn't want to actually do anything or get things done except preserve their own interests and make themselves rich.
Yeah.
And I think this guy's proving that you can go in there and actually get things done if you actually looked at everything he did. I mean, in the first 3 years of his presidency, I mean, it's a laundry list of things he's accomplished.
Yeah.
So that's why I felt like both sides were against him because he was proving you can actually do things, and I don't think they wanted the American public to actually realize that, like what someone is actually capable of doing when they hold the office.
Yeah, I can't believe now they're trying to push Biden. It's like they never learn.
No, that guy's got dementia and Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
Can't even get a sentence out.
Yeah.
So I mean, that guy's gonna get stomped.
Yeah.
Trump's gonna absolutely embarrass and humiliate him.
I like Biden in 2012 when he debated Paul Ryan. He really gave him the biz. You know what I mean? He literally wanted to slap his face out of his
shit together then, but now it's
if he was able to bring that somehow, maybe he'd do okay.
No, it's not going to happen.
I just want to see Bernie debate him. You know what I mean? Bernie versus Trump. You know?
It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just not going. This is not going to happen.
Yeah, I wanted that in 2016, but. And that's again with the media.
My problem with Bernie Sanders is they know he's going to roll over and die and quit and give up on people.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what he did in 2016 when they screwed him and then they went and endorsed Hillary because they just know Bernie will give you this, will give you that, and he'll shut up and I don't know, die like a dog. And he did it again this time.
Yeah.
He's doing the same thing. His heart's not. I mean, when you watch him speak, it seems like his heart's in it, but it really isn't. And that's my problem with him. I think he's a fraud because I think he sells out all his supporters, all the people that donate money to him. It's just like, Trump's going to fight to the death. Bernie Sanders isn't going to fight to the death. Bernie Sanders is going to fold like a lawn chair. He's done it twice. And I think everyone knows that, and I think that's why. I mean, come on, get the hell out of here. That Joe Biden got all those people to turn out for him in the primaries. Bullshit. That's voter fraud, and that whole thing's rigged. Because they think that the socialist Bernie Sanders will bring about the end of the Democratic Party. That's why they think Biden will save him down the ballot a little bit and save some of their jobs.
Yeah.
That's what I think about that.
Yeah.
There's no way, shape, or form do I think that Joe Biden got all those votes for. Who the hell is going to come out for him? The guy can't even put a sentence together.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
And he's going to take an ass kicking in November.
It's these people that, like, Democrats, like, that's how your family votes. You know what I mean? It's not hey, I like this guy. It's, hey, my mom and pop's a Democrat, so that's what I'm coming out for. And they kind of forced me to do it anyway. You know, when the election years, everyone just comes out and everyone starts beating their chests. Oh, man. Every election is always the most important election. You ever notice that?
Well, yeah.
Every time they come out and say, this is the most important election.
Well, they're trying to say, like, oh, we've got to get rid of Trump. Well, you're not going to.
Yeah, and you can't even run on getting rid of Trump. You know what I mean? I want to hear your ideas.
The guy's done a great job. What are you going to do? They have nothing. When you watch any of the Democratic debates, and I watched all of them, they have absolutely nothing because the guy's done a good job. What can you talk about? Fucking the Green New Deal?
Yeah.
Climate change? What else? What are you going to do? I mean, everything's going in a great direction. So hopefully we get this pandemic under control. And it looks like it's starting to show signs of containment in the United States, which is good. And hopefully we can get everything back up and running, man.
Yeah, I heard New York, they're kind of flattening the curve right now.
Yeah, that's what I saw this morning.
Yeah, so that's pretty dope.
And see, Trump's been working with Cuomo, the governor in California, like working with blue state Democratic governors.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how it should be.
And it's exactly how it should be.
He tweets funny, though. He comes out like, hey, like he leaves himself open for criticism. You know,
I hear you. Yes,
you know what I mean.
If you read The Art of the Deal, which I would recommend,
you think so?
I think you should read it. Yes, because you can realize what he's doing. Like when sometimes people say like, "Oh, he's lying" or this or that, it's like, no, he's negotiating. You don't understand. This is what he's doing. He's doing this on purpose.
He's playing three-dimensional chess.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not saying that that's all the time because I don't read all his tweets or anything. But when you read The Art of the Deal and then you see certain statements he makes, it's like he's doing this because of this. This is what like he knows what he's doing.
What's that, like 300 pages? That book?
Something like that.
It might have
been longer, but I took a lot. I took a good amount from it.
I might shoot through that, yeah.
And you just see there's different negotiation strategy in there, and he explains it like he's like, I said this, I knew this wasn't true, but I did it because of this.
Yeah.
And that's what I think a lot of people miss. Now, like my eyes were open to that when I read The Art of the Deal, and I read The Art of the Deal in 2015 before 2015 or 16.
I got you.
Like before the election.
Yeah.
And that they actually like the reason I read it was because Johnny Depp did a Funny or Die where he was Trump, and it was, they mocked him, but I was like, and it was, I think it might have been called The Art of the Deal. I don't remember, but and I mean I thought it was funny and entertaining. I knew that they were trying to mock Trump a little bit, but it just made me like him even more.
Yeah,
and that's the thing with the libs that they don't get, like the stuff that they try to pull out. It's like, this guy's great.
Yeah, every time he mentions his name, they don't get that too. Every time he mentions his name,
they don't get it. They have no idea.
For him.
Exactly. They have. Yeah. They're just getting. They've lived in a bubble their whole lives, and they're getting schooled from someone who's.
Yeah, they definitely
comes from a different world than they do.
Yeah, they didn't see the bishop coming from the side. Like he brought this showmanship, this set of skills, and he just
markets himself.
Yeah. He just wiped the floor with the whole.
Mopped the floor with them in those debates in 16. Like the Republican field destroyed him. Jeb Bush. Like a little Marco, Ted Cruz. Yeah. Well, I really like Ted Cruz, by the way.
You're a fan of Ted Cruz?
I think he's a very, very smart guy. I think. I think he's very good economically.
Okay.
From what I've read his economic policy, so I think there's a lot of good there. I think Marco Rubio is good. Yeah. But as far as that 2016 thing, he just mopped the floor with them all.
Just get out of my way.
He crushed them all. It was a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Jeb Bush was spectacular. He was such an elitist and like just acted like a little bitch up there and got ripped apart. Completely inept. Yeah. But if you go back and just type in on YouTube, Trump destroys Jeb Bush. Yeah. It's a beautiful thing. And they're so bitter and angry about it. And when Jeb Bush is interviewed nowadays, he's still like just bitter and just because you got destroyed. Yeah. Like you got destroyed. Yeah. And you'd be bitter about it. You got beat.
Yeah. Like a pro showed up. Like a guy that knows how to draw eyeballs to him showed up.
That's exactly right.
And these bureaucrats just they just couldn't hang. Yeah,
that's exactly right.
Is anyone like that ever going to show up in politics again?
Well, after what they've done to Trump, I think it's going to. They tried to ruin the guy's life, get him impeached. I mean, what they've done to him. I think that they're also trying to scare people into being like, "Don't ever try this again in your life." And I don't know, man. I mean, I hope so. I hope there's some crazy person out there that wants to take this on, but
Yeah.
I mean, they try to put this guy in jail. It's just what they've done to the guy's a disgrace.
Yeah, people are saying the dynasty, you know, just Trump Jr., Eric, whoever, like they might.
I haven't looked into that. I've heard it. I don't know how true it is. I mean, Don Jr., I could see that.
Yeah.
I mean, his Instagram's spectacular, man. He don't hold back.
I seen him in an interview, and he was really holding his own. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
I saw where he was coming from.
You know what's funny? A buddy of mine, and I don't even know his political affiliation, but a guy I played hockey with.
Yeah.
His sister went to school with Ivanka Trump, and like Don Jr. and Ivanka used to go to his mountain house.
Okay.
And I didn't know his political affiliation was. And I was like, how were they? He's like, they're cool. He's like, they're just normal people, nice.
Yeah.
They used to play beer pong with us.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, and I was like, really? They're just. He's like, no, they're just normal. They were cool.
Yeah.
And you know, that's when college. So what are you, 20? I mean, you'd think if you were like a dick, it would be out in the open by then. But I heard good things, so I'll go on that because I don't follow everything they do, but what my friend said, you know.
And yeah, that's the thing they try to do. They try to like character assassinate people, and it's like, no, these are all nice people. They're personable. When you meet Trump, he's a great guy.
Yeah,
you know, he's fine.
I've heard that too from. I know some people that know him. My uncle
Yeah.
knows him. Said the same thing. He's great.
Yeah, I actually used to work at the Trump Town Hall back in like 04, 05.
Did you meet him?
I didn't meet him, but everyone that worked there was like, yeah, I wasn't love everyone once. He's all right. You know what I mean? And you could just tell, hey, in their private lives, these people are cool. You know what I mean?
Dude, I've heard nothing but great stories about Trump. Stone Cold Steve Austin told a great story about Trump at WrestleMania.
Okay.
That Vince said that they were in a match together, and Vince said to Trump as they were walking out, like, "Hey, Donald, how about you take a Stone Cold Stunner?" And he said his handlers jumped in like, "No, you don't have to do that. Don't do that. No."
Yeah.
And then right away, Trump was like, "I'll do it."
That's
and
fun.
like Austin says, Austin told the story on YouTube. He's like, "I'll do it."
Yeah.
And he said that. I mean, obviously, Trump's not a wrestler, so Austin did it. It didn't come off great, but he's like, I don't care. He's like, that guy had no reason to do that, and he did it anyway for me, and he wanted to put on a show.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you just hear stuff like that across the board, how cool the guy was, and you see it, and from what my uncle told me, he was cool. I mean, I've got that picture above my you should post this picture of the portrait above my balcony.
I will. I'll grab
my fireplace.
Yeah.
On this one you
Yeah. I can grab. You know what you want to do? Like I'll grab a selfie of you and me.
Absolutely. We need to do that. Let's wind it down before we go too long here and bore everybody to death. But maybe we can do a part 2 at some point.
I got you. Yeah. You know what? And on that note, yeah, if you ever want to come back on the pod, dude, I'll do the same thing.
Anything else we got before we go?
That's about it. We talk politics, gaming. You know what I mean? We chopped it up a little.
I know everything about. Listen, if anybody has that,
Yeah,
I'm very good at workout stuff and nutrition. So if anybody's got any questions, I'm legitimate. I actually know what I'm talking about, and I'm in good shape. So one thing I want to tell you guys is if you're trying to work out and you're at home and doing the coronavirus thing and everything like that, don't take workout advice from people who look like shit. That's a pretty like a lot of people have been like, oh, come work out with me or follow my online workouts. If they look like shit, don't listen to them.
Yeah. So, no, why is that? There's bad technique. Just they don't.
No, but like they don't know how to make it work. Like they you know what I mean? If a guy's jacked and like is lean and everything, and he's not just completely juiced out of his mind. If somebody looks like shit and they're, I mean, obviously they can't apply what they're doing.
Yeah.
They have to look the part.
They're figuring it out.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
my other interests are sports, working out, professional wrestling, girls. Nice. Dating, psychology, books, everything like that. So I think we should do a part 2.
Yeah, I'm down with it.
And then
cool.
That'd be good. But I think we did 40 minutes. We don't want to go too long.
Yeah, that's going right there.
All right, great. Well, Gal, thank you for having me on. It was fun.
Absolutely, man. Have you on anytime.
I'm looking forward. We'll do another one.
Cool, works, man.
All right.
All right, guys.
Wonderful.
This has been the Don Riz podcast. Boy, Don.
My name is Joe Mastronardo. Find me on Instagram if you want to chat.
Yeah, plug your
MASTRONARDO. MASTRONARDO.
Yep.
So, cool.
All right, folks. We'll catch you later. Thanks for tuning in.